Oh my goodness. Did you feel that? It was like, I just was coming in, I was, oh yeah, a good jazzy kind of feeling in church. Oh my goodness, hello. Some folks I haven't seen for a while. Hello everybody, welcome, welcome. Yes, welcome to Unity of Gaithersburg. I'm Reverend Edith. Let me just make sure I know my name, okay? All right, okay. Reverend Edith Washington Woods. I'm so grateful to be the senior minister here at Unity of Gaithersburg on this May 18th, 2025. Yeah, 25. That's a long time, isn't it? From the Y2K. We got to make up something new, y'all. There's no Y2K. We're fully in the 2000s. And I want to welcome you guys here to the 2000s, 2025, and all of you out there in Love Streaming Land. We call it the balcony. So I know there are some of you in the balcony. I've already greeted people on the Facebook chat and said hello, and whoever else in my family that might be watching now, hi. And those of us here in the sanctuary. In this sanctuary, physically in person, I greet you. I'm grateful, so happy to be here with you today. And is there anyone here visiting for the first time? I'm looking around and I don't see anyone new. If you are new and haven't been here with us and you're online, if you can put your name in the chat, otherwise we won't know. We just won't know, and that's okay too. But I want to welcome you just the same. And anybody here that has a cell phone and you like to play in it, you can go to our YouTube channel, well, really the Facebook page, yes, and you can share it in your own Facebook page so that we get more people looking at us. Okay, so with that, I think it's time to pray. Let's just take a moment to relax and perhaps even close your eyes if you choose to, and it's fine if you don't, that's fine too. And we enter into this space, this spot, this place where we know there's no spot where God is not. And we take a gentle breath into this knowing as we pray. God, the spiritual essence, the presence that is here and now. We are so grateful that we're here with each other. We're affirming that all is well in this moment for those who are here, those online, and those who aren't here yet. We open up the door to an awareness of our deeper connection, that we are all connected in this great tapestry of life. And we know and we affirm that throughout this service, that each of us will gain a little more awareness in some area that we didn't have before, and perhaps will be lifted up and moved in our time here as we hear the message, the meditation, the music, and how it weaves us together. And for this, we just allow it to be us in this moment and every moment to come. And so it is. And so we let it be us. Amen. And now we have on our screen our core values. I'm going to have us say it all together and see who puts, we want to know which one are we going to focus on today. So let's say our core values together, please. Community, love in action, prayer, gratitude, abundance, diversity, integrity, youth, adult, and family spiritual education. Okay, which one? Diversity. So what does it mean for us? And just for people who don't know, so the core values are who Unity of Gaithersburg, us here, have declared that we are. That's how we demonstrate in the world. So if we're claiming the core value of diversity, what does that mean? That truly all people can walk their own paths to God and know that here that everyone is welcome. Did y'all get that? So we believe that all paths, right, are a path. I like to think of it like the tree of life that is used often in the Jewish tradition and other traditions, and that we're like part of that tree. And there's this core right? This trunk, if you will, the rooted part that roots down into the earth. And if you could consider that the multitude of spiritual communities that are out there in the world, that they're all part of the branches and the leaves, and they all have their different ways to express, and yet we're all part of it. So if we're talking about diversity in that regard, then that means all of us are diverse, and all of us are part of the tree of life. Thank you very much. And now, is it a dancing song? Yes. I just want to find out, because I have my low heels on today, so I'm going to move around, and y'all might want to too, or just wiggle in your seat. That's fine also. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. So it's third Sunday, so Spirit Sound is with us, and we're going to make some noise, a joyful noise. Ready? Hey, yeah. 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 I said my heart is filled. My heart is filled with pure light. With infinite love, and gratitude, I said my heart is filled, with pure light, and infinite love, and gratitude, I said my soul resounds, with pure light, with infinite love, and gratitude. I said my soul resounds, with pure light, with infinite love, and gratitude. My mind is aligned, with pure light, with infinite love, and gratitude. I said my mind is aligned, with pure light, with infinite love, and gratitude. My body's aligned, with pure light, with infinite love, and gratitude. I said my body's aligned, with pure light, with infinite love, and gratitude. With infinite love, and gratitude. With infinite love, and gratitude.
Unity, my name is Jerry, and I'm here today to bring you your transformational opportunities. Okay, so let's get started. It's time for our transformational opportunities. The handout you received has more information, but we will go over some highlights. The first one is Heart to Heart, is a new team for our beloved community. And let me take a moment to just say that I have already benefited from this new team. And I would like to thank all of you who sent your well wishes on behalf of Najee. His surgery was successful, and we are still working on his healing. But I was a part of the meal train, and people came to the home to visit us, to bring us food. It was truly a blessing, and also a time for me to kind of let down and just be present and be grateful for my church family. This is an opportunity to support members of our spiritual community during an illness, hospitalization, bereavement, or other challenge. I also need to thank Reverend Edith because she came to the hospital the day of Najee's surgery. She asked me if I would like her to come, and I said, I told her I was flabbergasted because as a single mom, no one goes to the hospital with me. It's what I've done for the last 30-some years, and I really didn't know how to answer her. But she came, and we got there at 8 o'clock, and she was there. And she stayed with, she stayed there with me, and she told me, I'm here to support you. I didn't know how to respond because that's been my job. Not only did she stay through the surgery, but she stayed until we were all ready to go home, and that was over 4 hours, and I can't say thank you enough. So it works to have our minister come and bless us. She prayed for Najee before he went into surgery. There are no monthly commitments to this new team. Just be available to share your love with others from our beloved community when a situation arises. Sign up with your interest on the sheet in the lobby. Now, moving on. We are hosting a film screening on Saturday, June 14th at 3 p.m. The film is a documentary titled Every Soul Knows, the joy of remembering who we are, who we really are. In this film about life and the afterlife, learn how we can apply the knowledge that we're eternal spiritual beings to improve our lives now. The filmmaker will conduct a Q&A after the screening. Our women's retreat will be held from July 11th to the 13th. I and my daughters have already signed up. I don't know if this is my 7th or my 8th year going, but I go. I love it. We have a great time. I usually do the line dancing and lead the line dancing, and we have a great time doing that. But there are also many sessions where we can learn and grow together. And then what's beautiful about the retreat, if you don't want to do anything but just go for hikes and be to yourself the whole time, you can do that as well. The deadline to register is June 20th. There will be a variety of activities and time for quiet reflection at the Hollywood Retreat Center in Frederick County, just a 35-minute drive from the church. And you can get more information about cost and all that on our website and on our Friday newsletter. SEE is right around the corner. SEE will be held from June 22nd through the 27th on Zoom. For those of you who have not taken advantage of SEE, I definitely encourage you to do so. It is a time where you can begin to learn more about unity itself, as well as enjoy classes that will help you grow spiritually. And Jane is going to come now and talk a little bit about SEE.
Thank you. Thank you, DeJerry. So, right, we've been working on this program now for a year, like we do every year. And I'll be teaching one of the classes called The Christ. and it's one of the 5 Bible classes that we offer that's part of this curriculum. And in January, some of you came to my January, I taught Jesus' teachings, and which is on the Synoptic Gospels primarily, and the Christ will focus on the Gospel of John, and discover how John, taught. And if you read John, that this idea of Christ, the Spirit being within, was there in the Gospels. And I'm also, what I bring into this course also is the Gospel of Thomas, which is part of the Gnostic teachings that were hidden, that weren't discovered until more recently. So, and Thomas is the sayings of Jesus, that what Jesus actually spoke and taught. And and the writings go back to about 300 or so AD, so we're really looking at much closer to the original teachings of Jesus. And then I also bring in the Gospel of Mary, which is just a very intriguing reading that came from Mary Magdalene. So anyway, I'd love to have any of you. It's on Zoom. I do a lot of group work where we talk about, get in touch with where we are now with the teachings from the Bible, and then and where unity can take us with those teachings. So join us.
Okay. Thank you, Jane. Register now for any of the 8 classes where you can explore things like self-care, discerning your purpose, the Christ, and healing and wholeness. See the newsletter of our website for more information. Our foundation is prayer, one of my favorite things to do. Our prayer chaplains are trained to pray in confidence with you. Today's prayer chaplain is none other than me. Can't you tell? See me after the service if you would like a time of prayer. There's also a box in the rear of the sanctuary where you can submit prayers, which our prayer team will add to their list of those for whom we pray. Now let's prepare ourselves for the daily word. As we prepare ourselves for the daily word, as I was reading this over, I would just like you to, if you like to close your eyes and just really hear these words. Here is the daily word for Sunday, May 18th, 2025. The word for today is cherish. On this day, let us affirm, I cherish opportunities to share the love of God. Repeat this slowly with me, aloud or in your mind. I cherish opportunities to share the love of God. I invite you to hear these words as your very own. It isn't the price of something that determines its value. It is how much it is cherished. It is not how something looks or what it costs that makes it beautiful. It is the love and wonder I feel that helps me cherish it. Just like the gifts I give, I imbue my relationships with love. I cherish those for whom I care deeply, and I want them to feel cherished by me. I hold the intention of love and connection that is at the heart of my every exchange. Just as I feel cherished as a divine being, I share the love of God through my kind and considerate acts. At the heart of every kindness I extend is the prayer that those I serve will feel cherished, not only by me, but by God. Today's Bible verse is from the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 8. So deeply do we care for you that we are determined to share with you not only the gospel of God, but also our own selves, because you have become very dear to us. So let us take a moment to reflect on the word for today, cherish, and think of those in our lives that we so cherish, and the gifts that have been given to us that we so cherish. And so it is, and so it shall be.
And now is our meditative part of this service. I invite you to join me in closing your eyes. And if you would rather keep them open, I invite you to have them at a half gaze, like half open. And notice and focus on one spot in the room. For there is no spot where God is not. Simply relax. Relaxing into your seat cushion wherever you are. Allowing yourself to become one with it as if it is you and you are it, melting into the tapestry of that seat, as if it is the tapestry of your life. Relax, my friends, and allow yourselves to come apart for a while. Allowing yourselves to be like a thread, the thread that you're holding. Knowing that this thread is part of a tapestry, the tapestry of life. And knowing that we are being woven, we're being weaved in and out of the things that occur in our lives. And ultimately, we are weaving them together. Weaving them together as if we are that tree of life. And that in order for us to have life, we contribute our piece of yarn as part of that life force. And imagine just for a moment what power we have in that weaving. Weave us together in a tapestry of love. And as we take a few moments in the silence to consciously connect with the source, God the good omniscience, we hold on to that thread as part of that which we are, part of that universal presence. And we say to ourselves, I am weaving myself with all. I am weaving myself with all. I am weaving myself with all. In the silence, we join this tapestry together in love. I am. I am. I am weaving a tapestry of love. I am weaving a tapestry of love. May these words deeply resonate within you. I am weaving a tapestry of love. And in this expanded state of consciousness, we know that we are part of all there is. And we can choose to do it in a way that is loving, generous, and affirmative. And we hold that for anyone who we know may be in need, that we need to affirm them as that same tapestry of love. In this moment, we give thanks for all there is and all we're willing to contribute as pieces of thread in the tapestry of love. And we let it be. And so it is. Amen. And namaste. Wow, give another round for our wonderful choir. Our music director, Ms. Galetta Gillespie. And the Namaste Band. So, the song, did you hear the words to the song? It talked about that our thoughts, words, and our life are prayers. What does that mean? What does it mean to have our thoughts, words, and life be a prayer? Anybody know? Got an idea? Any clues? Yes.
Thoughts are created by God.
Thoughts are created by God. Yeah.
And then I thought
We're all are it. Anything else? Anyone else got something?
I like to think of it as tuning our instrument.
Tuning our instrument. So every thought, word, and our life as a prayer, consider that. It's like tuning an instrument. Yeah? I'll take one more. I know you've been thinking now. Yes?
I don't think it has to be a rote prayer. I think we can just be, and it's a prayer.
Yes. So the tapestry, right? That is being, and that if we say God, right, and we say God is infinite and everywhere, then it has to be our thoughts, words, and our life. Yeah. And so when we think of them as the prayer, there's a certain vibration that happens with our thoughts and our words and our life. So if it's something negative, just take a second. Think about something negative, anything. Doesn't matter what. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. And what that does, right? Like in the body, body gets a little tense, yeah, and there's a vibration. There's an energy when we have that negative stuff, the negative things that happen, and the negative things that we take on in our body, right? But when we think of something affirmative, something positive, just take a moment to think about something affirmative or positive, just to have whatever. And what that feels like. Yeah. Somebody give me what you thought of as the affirmative, what the positive. Anybody? What to come up with? Your granddaughter. Yes. Look at those Look at that smile. Look around. See? You see the energy is just beaming off of her. Anybody else? One more.
My students graduating yesterday.
Your students graduating from the University of, what is that?
Morgan State.
Morgan State University. Imagine that, a whole bunch of people. I wasn't going to say young. Yes, I was. And some older. Like I was older when I got my bachelor's degree. And all those young folks, it didn't matter because I was like super happy, right? And so it has that vibration. It carries an energy when we infuse our minds with positive, affirmative thoughts. So when we talk about in that song that every thought, every word, and our life can be a prayer, it can be. Even when there's stuff that's not so affirming going on. I've been talking about that, like shift it to some other thing. What else can we think? What else can we bring in? What else can we bring in? Because none of that has any power over us. Now this month, the month of May, we've been talking about our spiritual power is what? Power. And so when we're talking about having our power with us, then that means we can shift something in a second. We can shift what is happening on the outer so it's not affecting us on the inner. And I know it takes something, doesn't it? But it's when we have those challenging times where we practice more. We practice more when we're having challenging times. It's kind of like having a pain. Like I've had a pain in my hand because I've been typing a lot lately. And so, I do like that, right? Or I'll say, okay, go. You just declare it to go. I'm doing just fine. And I notice that it's not having that power over me anymore. Does it mean it's gone? Maybe not. But it's not having the power that it had before to have me not be able to function, if I'm needing to type, if I'm needing to cook, or I'm needing to eat. And so every thought, word, and our life can be affirmative. Now in Unity, we talk about something called affirmative prayer. And let's break it down for a sec. So if we're talking about affirmative, that's like an affirmation. I'll be giving you one at the end of this talk. And an affirmation is a positive statement of truth, even if it's not happening. It's a positive statement of truth, even if it's not happening. And then when we look at prayer, Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, says that prayer is the most accelerated action of our mind. Because mind is connected with that God mind, that part of us that never changes. And so when we put together an affirmation with a prayer, we have affirmative prayer. Affirmative prayer. And that's one of the really cool things about Unity that I found is that it's not talking about, praying, beseeching and all that, get on my face and pray, oh, please help me, poor, whatever. No, it's not that. It's an affirmative way of being. It's a positive way of living our lives so that our lives are beautiful like that smile on your face. Yes. That we get to have that. And nobody can take that away from us. Nobody can tell us we can't be affirmative and positive unless we let it. Okay. And it weaves in this God power in our lives and in the universe. It puts out this vibration, this love vibration that just beams from out of us that then draws people in. And sometimes it can even change folks. So in a quiet town in Geneva, Switzerland, I want to tell you, if you don't know, Lake Geneva is known for its incredible views, and the headquarters there is the headquarters of Red Cross and the headquarters of the United Nations. I know, right? And there lived this weaver, and her name was Eva. She had a loom unlike any other. It shimmered, and the threads that seemed to hum with life. People that lived there, they loved the things that she made. And they weren't just tapestries. They were full of stories, emotions, and dreams woven into the fabric. One day, a curious child, it wasn't me, but I could have been her, this kid named Zoe. And she says, Miss Eva, how do you make your tapestries so alive? Eva smiled at her and said, because every thought, every word, and every action is a thread. Every word, every thought, and every action is a thread. You all were given a thread. So just imagine if every thought, every word, and every action is a thread that we have. She said, life itself is prayer, and she simply weaves into it whatever we all create. So if we're having our own thread and we just keep our thread to ourselves, then we can't connect with each other thread to thread, creating some tapestry, some beautiful tapestry. So little Zoe, she kind of tilted her head. She said, a prayer? But I don't see anyone praying. Just like out of the mouth of babes, right? Miss Eva gestured over to the loom, and she said, when you think kind thoughts, you spin golden threads. When you speak with love, you add vibrant colors. And when you act with purpose, you weave patterns of strength. But when you think harshly or speak carelessly or act without a heart, the threads, they fray. They fray. So if I took this and started thinking really negative thoughts and stuff like that, then they're going to fray and look kind of like that, right? And they're just going to keep going and going. Like an evil, corroding thread. And it doesn't look as pretty. So the child's eyes widened, and she said, so everything we do matters? And Miss Eva said, yes, our lives are a constant prayer to the universe. Every moment we ask what we believe in, what we hope for, and what we fear. So what do we want? Do we want to put out in the universe this tapestry of fear? I don't think so. We want to put into the universe a tapestry of love, a tapestry of kindness, a tapestry of possibility, and a tapestry of power. There's this song, this unity song that people, and we don't sing it as much as when I came into unity, but it goes like this. Weave, weave, weave us together. Weave us together in unity and love. We are many textures, we are many colors, but each one different from the others. But we are entwined with one another in one great tapestry. Weave, weave, weave us together. Weave us together in unity and love. We're different instruments, playing our own melodies. I'll say that again. We are different instruments, playing our own melodies, each one tuning in a different key. And when we weave them together in this beautiful, beautiful tapestry of love and light and power, like what we heard the choir when they sang. It wasn't just one. You know that, right? It was all of them. And as they were weaving, that energy, that vibration, it came out from them and drew us in. And we couldn't help but be part of that dance, the weaving of it. And that's what happens when we live a life that is affirmative, that is positive, and let go of the fear and let go of the, oh my God, what's going to happen next? And I get it, because we may wonder that. You turn on the news, it says it. But we have power to claim our own lives. We have power to claim our own thoughts. We have power to claim our words, such that it radiates out from our lives, from our body, in that same way as the example of our choir today. So from that day on, after Zoe had asked her about prayer and tapestry, little Zoe began to notice the threads of her own life. She chose her thoughts with care. She spoke words that lifted others, and she acted with intention. She acted with intention. And so this is what we're called to do right now is how can we lift up others? How can we have thoughts that are thoughts of care, not just care for others, but care for ourselves? I was listening to something the other day when it talked about, in ministers ministering to other people. The question was asked, how are you taking care of yourself? There are ministers that don't because they think, I'm just here, I'm called to take care of other people, and then they don't, and their lives get crumbly. But we have to take care of ourselves too, right? So I'm going to have my spiritual renewal Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Don't call me. If you do, I'll answer, but I won't talk long because I need to replenish. I've had a lot going on in this past 6-7 months. And so it's those things that as I take care of myself, then I'm able to be with you more fully and not like just disjointed and halfway. And so we also do this with ourselves so that we as a spiritual beloved community, we're able to not only take care of this body temple, but we're also able to be there with others as well. And there are many other faith communities that have their ways of praying. I read this Buddhist type prayer, and it said, faith and prayer are invisible, but they must make impossible things possible. Okay, I'll say that again. Faith and prayer are invisible. You got that part? All right. But they make possible. I still didn't do it. Okay, let me go there again. Faith and prayer are invisible, but they make impossible things possible. There we go. They make impossible things possible. So there was a frog, and the frog decided to reach the top of a tree. And all the other frogs said, impossible, impossible, that is impossible for a frog to get up to the top of a tree. But the frog continued to reach and reach and reach. Imagine it, frog reaching up. Because the frog was deaf. And the frog thought that the other frogs were saying, go, keep going, keep going. Yeah. So he just thought it was possible because he didn't hear it. He made it up with his own thoughts. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Because an affirmative thought is a yes, I can kind of way of being. And so here's the Buddhist joke. Well, it's not a joke. Buddhist, here goes the Buddhist prayer. Be deaf to your thoughts. Be deaf to your negative thoughts. If your aim is to reach your goal, so be deaf to your negative thoughts. If your aim is to reach your goal, just think about the deaf frog being encouraged on to create what was possible because he couldn't hear what his friends were telling him. There is also an Islamic affirmative prayer that I want to read to you, and this is what it says. O Allah, enlighten what is dark in me. Strengthen what is weak in me. Bend what is broken in me. Bind what is bruised in me. Heal what is sick in me. Straighten what is crooked in me. Revive whatever peace and love died in me. You see, every spiritual community has a way to affirmative pray. Like we have ways that we affirmatively pray. And I said earlier that Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, said that prayer is the most highly accelerated mind action known. And here's the rest of it. It steps up mental action until our consciousness synchronizes with the Christ mind. Until our consciousness, which means awareness, synchronizes. That means we're here. Not just here, but we're here. That it synchronizes with the Christ mind, which is that God consciousness, which is that I am and I believe that all things are possible kind of God consciousness. That we get to take that on and take our own power back. Yeah. And our Bible verse for today comes from Mark chapter 11, verse 24, and it assists us with what we believe. It says, "So I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." The revealing word says this about power, that power is our innate control over our thoughts and feelings. So remember, my friends, we have the power to create our own reality and what we feel in our body, right? What we take on, what we wear, and what we let go of. That we can simply call forth affirmative prayer by our thoughts, our words, and our life. That we have an opportunity to weave together a beautiful tapestry of love. So I invite you to take your yarn in your hand and look at it. And notice the ones that are all around the room. They're all different colors. Some are the same. Some are, like mine this one has yellow and orange. This one it's all green. And then this one is green and blue going into purple. But they all came off the same yarn, the same, what do you call it? Skein of yarn. Yeah, that's it. The one that was in the little package. Yeah, it's back there in the back. Thank you, Vanna. And so this is who we are. We are that tapestry of life. And that we can weave it together. We can weave it together in truth. We can weave it together in power. We can weave it together in all our own divine energy. That we weave it together in love. Love. We weave it together in peace. We weave it together in possibility. And we weave it together as if we're that deaf frog. And our affirmation can assist us with getting there. I'll say it once and then invite you to say it with me. As I pray, I am weaving a tapestry of love with every thought, word, and action. Together? As I pray, I am weaving a tapestry of love with every thought, word, and action. Again, as I pray, I am weaving a tapestry of love with every thought, word, and action. So let's just be with that for a sec. I invite you to just go to your heart right now. And I closed my eyes, and I'm going to invite you to do that too, if you will. And imagine that we're all like this tapestry I'm holding in my hand. You just saw it a moment ago. Catch it in your mind's eye. And all of the colors that we get to weave into this tapestry. And I'll say our affirmation so you can feel it down in your bone marrow. As I pray, I am weaving a tapestry of love with every thought, word, and action. And so it is. And so we let it be, because it's up to us, my friends. Namaste.
and I claim it, and then I see it everywhere. And I name love, and I claim love, and then I see it everywhere. Name love, and I claim love, and I see it everywhere. 'Cause it's mine, mine, the endless and everlasting love of God divine. When I name it, and I claim it, and then I see it everywhere. Well, I name it, and I claim it, and then I see it everywhere. 'Cause it's mine, the endless and everlasting love of the divine. 'Cause I name it, and I claim it, and then I see it everywhere. 'Cause I name it, and I claim it, and I see it everywhere. And I see it everywhere. And I see it everywhere. I see it everywhere.
Wasn't that beautiful? Name it and claim it. It's like taking our power back. Yes? Knowing that we're a tapestry of love. And so now it's time for our giving and our generosity. And I'm up first because I wanted to share a couple things. Number one, at our community meeting, it was asked if the financials could be posted. So they are posted now. They're between the men's room and the copy room on that wall. So they're there. We have our treasurer's report as well as the profit and loss statement. And so I wanted to let you know that too. But I also wanted to talk about what it means to be this tapestry of love. And that means that in the beloved community, we are giving and generous, that we're willing to sometimes stretch ourselves a little bit so that things get done that need to get done. Now, what we discovered at the board meeting last Thursday was what our average gap is. Now, when you see the slide with when it tells the giving and the revenue and expenses, we happen to have a surplus for April. Why? Because some people gave generously an extra $6,000. Say woo. Oh, whoa. Whoa, woo. Happy. Clap. Because remember what's important here. Yes? What we discovered as a board is that everything that we have is important. The music is important, right? Yes. Yeah. Is it? Yes. And I think me being here for almost 3 years is important. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. And the building is super important, right? The lights being on is super important. We need the lights to handle the piano and the guitars and the drums. All of that is part of the tapestry. So what we've noticed is we have an average gap of $5,000 a month. And you've asked, well, what is it that you need? We have a gap. And imagine the gap is $5,000 and we want to close that gap. So inside of giving and generosity, what can be done? Now, we are doing the Beloved Community, and there's a book. There's still some books over there in the bookstore. I would invite you, if you haven't been part of it, to get part of it. We'll be meeting on the last Tuesday of the month. There's a sign-up sheet out there on our website, as well as in the weekly newsletter. There's a link. All you got to do is go and sign up. It just gives you access to get the link. But more importantly, I want you to read chapter 2, what we did last month, that talks about obstacles. Because some of us may have some obstacles that we are faced with today. Right now, we have a gap. And we want to close the gap. All right? Let's close it. Come on up, Njeri. She's going to take you into the rest of the giving part. Yeah, yes, your turn now.
Yes, I'm going to take a look at giving and generosity. Okay? And it's not on here, so I'm going to look up here. Yes. Thank you, Rodney.
Kelly?
It gives me another minute to think about what words of wisdom I'm about to say. Other than I was one of those people who wanted to know what was it? What did we need to do? And that helped me, that $5,000 gap per month helped me understand, okay, so that's what we need to be focusing on, is trying to make sure that each month we have given, at least that we cover that $5,000. But other than that, there are many ways that you can give here to church. We have the receptacle in the back where you can just put your money in. There are envelopes on the back of the chairs that you can give money. You can also do it online. You can become a forever giver. That's kind of what I call myself. Every month it's gone. So it's a forever giver right out of my account. And then you can text. So we have many ways of giving. And we just want to encourage you to bear in mind that we only need $5,000 per month to help us get back to where we need to be. So let's have our prayer, our love offering blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am so grateful. Okay, and now we'll have our children.
Rita, where are you? So she already made a comment, remember? What did I say she was going to say about that? Okay. Yep. Okay. Oh. Come here. Come here, sweetie. It's okay. I'll take it. Thank you. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Old people are cool.
can I do see?
So the question was, do you mean, who are we supposed to give these to? Do you mean old people like you, when you pointed to me? I said, yeah, I'll own that, because I think I am an old person and I am cool. I'm also fabulous. And so are they. So the reason you got these from us, and it's on both sides, is May is Older Americans Month and Older Adults Month. So we wanted to let you know that y'all are super seniors, independent, engaged, and connected, that we're going to celebrate age and share the wisdom from older seniors all month, and all kinds of things like that. So we wanted to recognize that some folks have more white hair than others, but it's okay, because you know what? Tomorrow ain't promised. So let's celebrate it while we're here.
There we go. So, when you're looking at young folks, if you're in your 20s or older, you're old. Just saying. Just saying, it's all relative, right? Look, the way they see it, all of us are old. So
the other thing that we did do for y'all today is, it is National Devil Foods Cake Month, and we actually baked cakes over there. And I don't know what's going on with that stove over there, but they've been in for twice the time they were supposed to be in, and it's still not cooked. Edie's over there watching the cakes. So just know that we thought about y'all, and there's National Devil's Food Cake. Because we did bake for you all today. Okay, so we're gonna get ready to go. What the power of the month is power, and and the color's purple, and they know that. Who wants to do the children's blessing? Okay, there you go, Phoebe.
I am the light of the world. I live as the light.
Who wants to go?
You are the light of the world. You live as the light.
Everybody.
And now stand for our closing songs. I invite you to be that tapestry of love, weaving us all together in love and truth. So go out there and let every word and every thought in your life be a prayer. Go out there and be positive. Have a wonderful rest of your week, my friends. Bye-bye.
The time is right, go out and shine. Shine your light, go out and shine. Go out and shine. And shine your light, go out and shine. The time is right, go out and shine. Shine your light, go out and shine. Go out and shine. Step out and take a chance. Walk the walk, enjoy the dance. Relax and enjoy the ride. Let kindness be your guide. Go out and shine. Shine your light, go out and shine. You know the time is right, go out and shine. Shine your light, go out and shine. Go out and shine. One voice, one hand, one heart, and a change and make a start. We're one big family. What's good for you is good for me. Go out and shine. Shine your light, you know the time. The time is right, go out and shine. Shine your light, go out and shine. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Shine.